Salam, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Yalimadab to all of you who have joined me this afternoon. Thank you for joining me once again on Mind, Body, Spirit on Bridgewani. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. First of all, I'd like to extend my sincere apologies for starting fairly late into the scheduled time. We were having a few technical difficulties which we have now managed to sort out. Today on Mind, Body, Spirit, I have a very special guest joining me, and together we promise you an action-packed afternoon. I hope you have your trainers on and a bottle of water ready at hand. Hi Salima, can you hear me okay?
Hi,
Welcome to the Mind, Body, Spirit show. Thank you for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. I'm sure you have a fun and action-packed afternoon planned for our viewers.
I do hope so.
Those of you who joined me last week will be aware I spoke briefly on mental health, focusing particularly on depression. I left you with some self-help tips, which I am hoping you found useful and have tried to implement into your daily routines, regardless of whether you suffer from depression or not. This week, on the 4th of March, we observed World Obesity Day. Therefore, I have chosen to address the global obesity epidemic we are currently facing. The World Health Organization defines obesity as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. It is measured by the body mass index, which is calculated by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. A healthy BMI score ranges from about 18.5 to 24.9. A BMI of 25 and above is classified as overweight, and a score of 30 and above is classified as obese. Obesity is a disease. An individual can become obese due to genetic and biological factors, due to lack of access to healthcare, exposure to ultra-processed unhealthy foods, environmental factors, and mental health. Obesity, in turn, can lead to other diseases, such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and even some forms of cancer. More relevant to the pandemic we are currently facing, obesity has been identified as a risk factor and increases one's chances of contracting the COVID-19 virus. It is also important to note obesity is no longer a disease prevalent in adults. Childhood obesity has shown an increase in trend over the last few years. An article published in the Clean Ter Journal in 2019 reported that in the World Health Organization European region, 1 child out of 3 was found to be overweight or obese. Childhood obesity can span into early adulthood, and thus obesity is a global epidemic and a disease that needs referral to the appropriate healthcare professionals to be treated. The simple ideology of eat less and move more may be insufficient to treat most individuals, as many tend to relapse. Several studies have shown a link between obesity and mental health. Essentially, mental health issues can lead to obesity and vice versa. What's the science behind it, I hear you ask? Obesity causes inflammation in the body. Inflammation is also observed in depressive illness. Therefore, the chemical changes that occur in our bodies due to either form of illness leads to the development of the other disease. In terms of psychological and social aspects, being overweight may cause psychological distress. We all know that in the media, you see men and women with lean bodies in adverts, billboards, and magazines. Socially speaking, being overweight and obese is not acceptable. in many cultures. This can affect one's self-esteem, which is a huge risk factor for depression. Some individuals may develop eating disorders as a result. We're all guilty of comfort and binge eating when we're feeling low. Now that we have established a link between mental health and obesity, without further ado, let me reintroduce you to my very special guest, Salima. Salima, welcome once again to Mind, Body, Spirits on Bridgewater. I believe you have established a business named Active Body, Healthy Mind. Can you tell our viewers who have joined us today a little bit more about Active Body, Healthy Mind and what it is you do to help your clients achieve their health goals?
Hi, Zahra, and thank you for that kind introduction. Yes, my company is called Active Body, Healthy Mind, and it does exactly that. It keeps all my wellbeing community active, healthy for not just their body, but for their mind too. As a lot of research, more so now than ever, shows that staying active is extremely well for our holistic well-being. And I do believe that it's not just going out and doing exercise here or there. It is the holistic approach to well-being. So as well as exercise, you need to look at your nutrition, what you're eating, even down to how you're thinking about it. So the positive thoughts around exercise and food, and actually how it can play an immense importance to your well-being, really goes hand in hand.
Thank you for that, Salima. It all sounds absolutely wonderful. I'm sure the viewers now have a better understanding of eating more healthily and the impact nutrition has on their well-being. Could you elaborate a little bit more as to what nutritional advice you would give any of your clients? So what kind of foods do you advise them to eat?
It's more so what they eat and when they eat. A lot of people feel that they need to skip breakfast to achieve a certain goal. I personally eat 5 to 6 times a day because your metabolism will not kick in if you're not eating, and then you can become very upset, angry, because your body, isn't getting the nutrients it needs to work. So the first thing I would ask my clients is, how many times a day are you eating? Are you having breakfast? Are you having your lunch? Are you having your dinner? And are you having your snacks? From there, that's when we look at what you are actually eating. And the biggest thing is it's a balance of all the nutrients, of the carbs, the proteins, the fibres, and the vegetables. It's a very maintainable, balanced food regime which we follow. But most importantly, you need to make sure you are eating enough. And I think out there we've been told that we're not allowed to eat too many calories. You actually can. It just depends what types of food you're eating.
That is really interesting because obviously over the years the understanding has always been, you need to eat less calories, perhaps miss out a few meals, and that's pretty much the whole idea that many of us have, that you need to skip meals, or you need to cut down on what you're eating and how much you're eating. So that's a really interesting fact that you've shared there, and you've definitely improved my understanding of the importance of actually eating small meals more frequently in order to help the metabolism kick in a bit more. Are there any food groups you advise your clients to actually avoid in particular? Because obviously our mindset is that there are things that we shouldn't be eating. So what advice do you tend to give?
Yeah, well, there's a whole thing about carbs, and it's been around for many years. People say, oh, I cannot eat carbs. You have to eat carbs. Carbs gives you the energy because it has the sugars in there that your body actually needs to function. Otherwise, you will be a couch potato and you won't have the energy to move. And there's lots of research into things like keto diets and things like that show you the correct carbs that you should eat and when to eat them. I personally avoid white potatoes, white pasta. They make me feel very tired because it's very heavy and very starchy. So I would eat sweet potatoes or actually lots of vegetables have carbs in there. Spinach, cauliflower. I would tend to go towards having those as my carbs on my plate instead. And there's a massive, lots and lots of research to show actually it will increase your energy levels because you won't feel as tired. But if anybody says cut out the carbs, your body won't work. It won't function if you do not eat carbs. You just have to look at what carbs you need to eat. And you can just Google it nowadays. And there's so much research on there. A quick tip, cauliflower hash browns, amazing. Made out of cauliflower. And it looks like you're eating carbs with whatever you're eating. And it's just those little tweaks that you make. It's not a diet. I never call it a diet. I call it just a way, a healthy living, a healthy lifestyle, which I choose to do every single day of my life. So I'm not starving myself at any point. And it's something that I believe we just all need to do. And once it's in your daily life, it's just the way it becomes each and every day.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Thank you for that information. Cauliflower hash browns. I have not tried that. You have to share the recipe.
Yeah, well, most supermarkets sell them. You just put them in the oven. And I also believe it shouldn't take up too much of your time to have to make those meals. Again, there's lots and lots of menus and recipes out there that fit into your lifestyle and make you eat a balanced meal. It's just finding the time to look for those recipes. And once they're under your belt, it really, really does work.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Do make sure you share the recipe with me. I have to try this out.
Yeah, I will do.
Now, we have a question from Gina Jeans. I'm interested in knowing about intermittent fasting and especially being a vegetarian.
Okay.
Do you think you feel you can answer that for her?
Yes. I've noticed a lot of people doing the intermittent fasting. Personally, I don't say that it's a good thing because I believe once you don't eat for a long period of time, it has an effect on your well-being. You get tired, and there is such a thing as hangry, so hungry and angry. Because you are hungry and your body needs that fuel, you then can take it out on those closest to you. You don't actually realise that you're hungry. Because I believe intermittent fasting, you are not eating for quite a few hours in the day, 8 hours at times. Yes, it can help you lose the weight, but how long can you maintain that? Because as soon as you start eating normally again, eating all those times in the day, you'll...
Okay, it seems like I've lost you for a second, so let's try and get connected again. Can you hear me, Salima?
I think I froze there.
Yes, you did. Okay, if you can repeat the last bit that you just said, because we lost you.
No problem. So people do intermittent fasting for a short period of time and they lose the weight and have received fantastic results. But the question I would ask myself is, okay, after the 12 weeks you've done that, then what are you going to do? Once you start eating normally again, so you're eating your 3 meals a day, your body then will have a reaction and you'll find that you put the weight on again really quickly. So whatever you do, it needs to be a lifestyle choice that is not a short-term fix. It needs to be something that is in your daily routine. And honestly, holistically, it will make you feel better, body and mind.
I'm going to come back to the point that you just made, where you've just said that once you've done the intermittent fasting and then you start eating normally and you tend to put on the weight. I think the explanation behind that is simply that our bodies are actually designed to survive. And so if you're putting your body through a period of starvation where you're keeping yourself hungry and depriving yourself of nutrition, as soon as you start eating, all the glucose, fats, they're all turned into fats and are stored into our adipose tissue. And that's how we tend to gain weight. So that's a very good point that you've raised for our viewers, that it's important to eat small meals regularly during the day to keep the insulin releasing, to keep the metabolism going, rather than starving and obviously you've mentioned hungry, because it can work completely in the opposite way for some individuals, and you'll see weight
Yeah.
gain rather than any benefits of losing the weight.
Yeah.
I am very guilty of hungry, because when I am hungry, my whole family, my children are like, Mom, you need to eat, because
Mm.
you tend to take it out, especially on those that are the closest to you, because that you're in that moment where you're absolutely starving. You may not know it,
Exactly.
but then obviously it affects your mental health. So thank you for raising that point. It's very interesting. Now I think we had a second question, which I want to come back to, from Bindia John. What shoes do you advise for Zumba? Obviously, you teach Zumba online, so could you answer that one for her?
The most comfortable I find is something with a bit of sponge in the bottom, nothing too flat,
Mhm.
because it can hurt your ankles over a long time. So something quite, if I could show you my trainers, I will quickly. Something with a
Go
bit
on.
of bubble in the bottom. Something,
Bindia, I'm hoping you can see that. Salima, if you can just hold it a little bit more
sorry, they're
towards
a
the
little bit
camera.
dirty, but something with a little bubble in the bottom of them.
Oh
Nothing
yes, yeah,
too flat,
yeah.
because you do a bit of bouncing around. But sometimes bare feet's fine if you're happy to do it in bare feet, but nothing that's very flat and hard at the bottom.
Gina Jin says, "You're right. When I'm hungry, I am very cranky."
And
I
on that
think, I
note,
think,
I always carry snacks with me. So I'll
yes.
always have some nuts or some carrot sticks, or even an apple. Never go anywhere without any water,
Yeah.
without a snack, because you don't know how long you're going to be, not next to a shop where you can buy something. Even their snacks aren't always the best.
They're
So
not the healthiest. Let's
no,
face it.
almonds. I always have it. As long as you're not allergic to nuts, obviously, almonds I always have in my bag, and I always have a bottle of water, because one of the things as well, your body might think it's hungry, but a lot of the times it's just dehydrated. So at least 2 liters of water a day is
Fantastic.
advised. To always have water on you, even
and
if.
and the wonders water can do for your skin. So
Mm,
if you're having skin issues, then drinking lots and lots of water is
for
a way
sure.
of removing the toxins from your body, and it can have such a positive glowing impact on your skin.
Yeah.
Bindia says, thanks Salima for all the information.
Oh, you're welcome.
um, we do have a second question from Bindia again. Which brand of uh, Zumba shoes would you recommend?
There is no particular brand. Mine are Nike. Zumba do their own shoes. But as long as you can go and have a look, they are called. You can get some hit shoes or gym shoes when you go into like certain stores. Avoid the ones that say for running. I'd say ones. HIT is just HIIT. It's an acronym for high
Okay.
intense interval training. But anything like that, just have a look at them, and if they've got a bit of bounce at the bottom, they're usually perfect.
Okay, thank you for that. Gina, I'm pretty sure that has answered your question. Arif Lalani, very beautiful and informative session. Thank you, Mr. Lalani, for your comments. Suresh says, I feel too old for Zumba. Do you
No one's
think
ever too old
age
for
is
Zumba.
a restriction?
No, my eldest client who does Zumba is 84, and she's been doing Zumba with me for about 3 years. And
Fantastic,
it's really helped.
84. Look at
84.
that.
Yeah, she's
Suresh, now you have no excuse. You have to join the Zumba sessions. I'm pretty sure there's beginners levels available,
the,
intermediate. So
the good thing about Zumba is you just take it at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to the person next to you. You just do the moves to make you happy and nobody else. As long as you're moving, and raising your heart rate, it's all good. So anybody can do it. I have children that do it. It's amazing.
yes, I've seen them.
If it
Your
makes you
boys are
smile,
absolutely
yeah, if it
smashing.
makes you smile, it's good for your body and mind, no matter what.
Absolutely. Suresh says, "Give me some motivation." I believe, Suresh, if you really care about your mental well-being, and obviously looking after your own health, then to do 30 minutes of exercise, if not daily, then 2 to 3 times a week. Zumba and yoga obviously are absolutely wonderful ways of keeping fit. Salima obviously does Zumba sessions 2 to 3 times a week, Salima, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I do a range of exercise, HIIT sessions, all sorts.
Okay, so time is ticking, and I believe you've got a wonderful exercise to music session planned in for us, Salima. So without further ado, I hand it over to you to take our viewers onto the floor and get moving and get sweaty.
Okay.
Enjoy, everyone.
Thank you for that, Zahra. So I'm just going to do 2 tracks. I simply just want you to move to the music and follow my moves. Just have some water handy and plenty of space around you. Just going to share my music, so I hope you can hear that. Any problems, just put it in the chat and we'll try and get that resolved. And Zahra, I hope you're joining us for this little short exercise session too.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'm not very coordinated, but there you go.
Doesn't need coordination. We're just going to get you moving.
Let's get this going.
Just 2 tracks worth, about 7 minutes, and I hope that you all enjoy.
Take it away.
Well, my friends, the time has come to raise a roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on. Everybody sing and everybody dance. Lose yourself in a wild romance. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. All night long, all night, all night long, all night long, all night. People dancing all in the street, see the rhythm all in their feet. Life is good, wild and sweet. Let the music play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul. Let the music take control. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing my song all night long. All night long. Yeah. All night long. All night long. Yeah. Once you get started, you can't sit down. Come join the fun, it's a merry-go-round. Everyone's dancing their troubles away. Come join the party, see how we play. Jumbo-lite, Santa-Moya. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo, it's a party, oh we go. Oh, jambalaya, Jumbo-lite, Santa-Moya. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo.
Okay, stay with us. One more track to finish us off, okay? Zumba. One more track.
Y esto es dedicado para todas esas shorties que les gusta la fiesta, que les gusta la fiesta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baila, yo quiero verte gozando, sudando junto a mí. Baila, que movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Baila, yo quiero verte gozando, sudando junto a mí. Baila, que movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Shorty, what's up, feel me now. Espérate encendido, chica, estamos pegados. La noche está llegando, el Zumba está empezando. Right, la pista está esperando. Baila, bienvenida sin parar. Cadera con tu llama, chica, ven pa' acá. cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. 1, 2, 3 to the right, 4, 5, 6 to the left. Te lo digo en inglés, te llamamos a bailar con mente zumba, esto acaba de empezar. Es hora de zumbiar, es hora de tripear. Prende mami chula que esta noche hay que jugar. Acá tú y el atón, que la pista mando yo, que nos fuimos hasta abajo, chica, grítalo. Quiero más despacito, dale suavecito, en la mesa bailo contigo. Te digo, y el party se prendió, tu zumba fina, ya no hay comparación. Mueva, con la mano bien arriba, a la pista, baila. Yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience el mambo. Dale más suavecito, con la mano en la cintura. Dale más despacito, mueve la cadera. Dale más suavecito y dale agachadito. Suavecito, despacito, con el belly dancing, yo. Fuimos para Arabia, con el danza de vientre. Soy el faraón de este party. Ponle sabrosura, you don't have to study. Vamos pa' la pista, mueve esa cadera. Dale como Jackie, dale como quiera. Hey baby girl, just feel the vibe. Listen to the beat, be my guide. Rock your body all night long. Let the music just take control. Listen to the beat, be my guide. 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 Listen to the beat, beat. Y ahora más despacito, dale suavecito, en la mesa bailo contigo. Te digo, y el party se prendió, tu zumba fina, ya no hay comparación. Mueva, con la mano bien arriba, a la pista, baila. Yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience el mambo. Baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, y baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Que comience la fiesta. Baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Baila, yo quiero verte así, gozando, sudando junto a mí. Ay, niña, qué movimiento de cadera. Zumba, que comience la fiesta. Y una vez más, aquí presente, el viejo Beto con Zumba, yo.
Wow, that was absolutely sensational. Thank you so much, Salima. We've
You're
had
welcome. I'm so tired.
so many positive comments. I think your
that's
husband's
lovely.
watching.
Yeah.
Krishna Kumar says, I am your student now.
Oh, bless.
Gina says, absolutely brilliant. So I think some of our viewers are actually questioning as to whether you teach lessons online, and they want to possibly join your lessons. So if you can leave us with just a bit more information on how they can get in touch with you, that would be amazing.
Yes, I do Zumba classes every Wednesday at 7 p.m. That's the UK time. It's all via Zoom, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. I don't know if you can send out my contact details, Zahra. I don't mind anybody contacting me by my
Yeah,
telephone
I can
number.
do that. Absolutely no problem. I can,
Yeah, and
yeah,
feel
absolutely.
free to message. Every Wednesday, like I said, 7 p.m. is for Zumba, and you're more than welcome to join. It'd be amazing to see you all there.
Shamim Premji, very proud of you, Salima.
As my mother.
So Krishna, I think Salima has just answered your question. She does run classes. You can look her up on Instagram. I believe you've got a Facebook page, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
Active Body, Healthy Mind, it's called. Both on
Active
Instagram.
Body, Healthy Mind, everyone. All of you that are interested in signing up. She's an absolute smashing person. Salima,
Oh, thank
you've
you.
motivated everyone to sort of take on Zumba. Even Suresh, I believe, who thought he was too old to do Zumba. So he has really enjoyed himself. So I'm glad that we've really had this chat. And
Yeah,
I
thank you
think
for inviting me.
no problem. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here. Thank you so much for agreeing to join us.
You're very
Okay,
welcome.
so with that, viewers, I think we're going to leave you. Thank you for joining us today on Mind, Body, Spirit. Don't forget to join next week for another smashing session. Look after yourselves and each other. Bye, Salima. Thank you for joining, my love.
Thank you. Take care,
Thank
Zahra.
you.
Bye.
Bye, darling.